Hello. You came today. Not quite sure what aspect ratio I'm going to put it in, though. So I do need to get chat up. And there we are. For the most part, whatever. So, this game we're playing at the recommendation of Sora, and I like the intro. I could listen to that on repeat, and I honestly had to, because this doesn't actually work with Citra out of the box. I have to make a one tweak. CPU speed has to go from 100% down to 45%, otherwise it doesn't really... there's no video. I don't think there's any other tweaks I had to do to get this running, though, so should run fine from here on. I did play Devil Survivor 2 back in high school when that came out. So I haven't played 1, but I have a general idea of how this is going to be. Using the same config I did for Etrian Odyssey control-wise. I don't think there's any live action segments, so this control config should work pretty well. I suppose we should go normal. But part of me does want to do easy just because I have a feeling that what I think may be normal might actually be pretty hardcore, and strategy games aren't exactly my forte, although I am a bit better at turn-based versions rather than real-time. I should probably do normal, shouldn't I? And knowing how much I theorycraft, normal may end up being fine in the end.
Hello?
Hey, Yuzu. I just got an email from Naoya. He wants to know if we can hang out tomorrow.
Naoya? Isn't that his cousin? I should be free tomorrow.
I can't do this. What was Aya thinking when she gave me this song?
Just take your time. The language of song is boundless. Do what your heart tells you.
The summoning vessel is complete. Will you continue to lend us your strength?
I've done nothing. The primal common tongue summoned them. Besides, I follow no god.
That is one long headphone jack. Yeah, I was about to say before I let the cutscene play is I'm not sure what orientation of the screens would be best for this. We may end up playing like this because I doubt not many games actually make full use of the touchscreen like Etrian Odyssey does. This is of course good for EO, however, given the cutscenes, especially the openings, are actually making use of the original alignment, I keep it like this. Oh yeah, first name, last name, and nickname. Also, it being voiced, I'm not sure how I never played the original Devil Survivor, but I assume it wasn't voiced, so that... I just hope it's not a bad voice acting job. Doesn't seem great right off the bat. Yeah, the majority of the DS library doesn't actually make effective use of the touchscreen. Like, a lot of the games do use the touchscreen, but they don't really make good use of it. Like, they either for like menus, inventory management type things. Very few actually turn the touchscreen into a proper mechanic rather than just a touchscreen. So though at Sora's... Oh, I asked Sora which version to play, whether original or Overclocked, and she said Overclocked Definitive, so we're playing Overclocked. Game creation. You know how the first stream of AO5 took 3 hours because that's just making up names? Yeah, that might happen. I don't think I'll start with an L, though. Oh, can I have spaces, too? Neat. Luigi's mustache on the touch... That whole pause was because I read that and I just can't comprehend it. Like, I can imagine having a mustache that you can play around with on the touchscreen, but how in the hell is that a mechanic? What the hell does Luigi's mustache do? Yeah, thanks to this being the only character after name, it's the only one I'll have to think up, but it's still going to be a while, especially because it's going to be my self-insert. And it's been a long while since I had to come up with a name. Well, sorry, a full name. A single name, yeah, I kind of rattle those off, but like... But why? That is a neat mechanic, and I would not have thought of that. Yeah, mental-based games actually are really... They tend to be very good, actually. They very much suit the... Really make use of video games as a medium a lot more than other games. What, you're 10 hours in, 5th floor? Eh, you're doing fine. Wait, how long did it take me to get to the 5th floor? It's because I'm just gonna check all the backlog. Yeah, right, not YouTube, but rather my channel. Now, I should put this over here, because it's a separate tab. Here we are. Well, so at 10 hours in, it seems like we were around floor 3 or 2. Because it was 3 hours for her guild creation. Another 4 hours for floor 1 puts us at 7 hours. Yeah, we were on floor 2. Unless we discount character creation, then we're on floor 3. Oh, level 10. No, wait, level 10 at 10 hours in? Yeah, that is actually kind of bad. At least by my standards, that's kind of bad. Oh, hi there. Oh, right, Reese. You keep changing your name every time I see you. Which, I mean, no fault on you. It's like months in between the times that I see you, but as long as the Reese is there, I know it's you. Let's get the windows properly ordered over there, and back to name. Yeah, actually, I think I'll go with that. Okay, that is indeed last name. What would the name be? I mean, you didn't miss much of... You didn't only miss the opening cutscene, Sora, so not particularly. Pens, I see. Weird, you have an exclamation mark in there, though. I wonder how that's pronounced. Yeah, I just wasn't prepared to come up with a name on the spot here. So, sorry, taking a while. Fortunately, on the upside, I only have to come up with my own name and not another 30 people's names. But yeah, it's like it was with EO, it's gonna be a bit... There we are. Oops. Alright. More quickly, T should be to finish. Although I don't see how I can... Ah, here's a new game. Bartholomew. I don't think I can fit Bartholomew. Ah, you have a Therian Pugilist. That is a good... Well, if we're doing Impact, that is a good choice. I mean, 6 letters makes sense for the Japanese release. It's just unfortunate it didn't extend it for the English. So I know in Japanese that a single character can, in the extreme cases, be an entire sentence unto itself when translated into English, so 6 characters is definitely ample space for a name when you have so much compacted into your alphabet. But this isn't Japanese, this is English, the horribly inefficient language that is 3 languages in a trench coat. So, yeah. I'm tempted to make the nickname something completely unrelated to the rest of it, but I don't know. Could be. Yeah. I don't want to go too meany with a name, because this is going to be basically me, or at least 2 character I end up associating with. Also, a lot of people for today. Got Sora, Decim, Breeze, so it's 4 people. Okay. Could just be L. Yeah, I only know a very, very, very tiny amount of Japanese, more so verbally than written, because verbally is just thanks to you watch a lot of sub-anime, you pick up some words here or there. But written, it was, I think after a while I decided to try to learn Japanese, but I didn't really stick to it. Part of it's just because nobody nearby speaks Japanese, so like I have to enforce the immersion myself. Like, why learn Japanese when everything you consume gets translated anyways, kind of deal? No reference. Yeah, you're probably gonna have a rough time, Sora. Natural ammonia Gropius, what the fuck? You say that, and it's on my wish list, but like, I'm being real frugal with my money, because I still haven't been placed at like an actual company yet, so while I do have some cash on hand, I have no income once more. So I hear you, Decim, I hear you. But no promises when. It is a when, not an if, but no promises on when. Alright, back to that team. I never got to comment on that. This is honestly just delaying me creating my own nickname. Let's see. Dragoon, Fencer, Herbalist, Warlock, and Pugilist. I mean, you pronounce it Pugilist, but that's not how it's spelled. English doesn't work like that. English isn't straightforward. Dragoon, that's fine. Fencer... you got a Warlock to work with. An Herbalist could have a bow. Missed the beat. I'm not... Honestly, it's a turn of phrase I haven't really heard. Normally when I hear the phrase, I missed the beat, it's like a moment, you know? A second or so, and that I'm not quite sure. It feels like you're using that to mean you've missed like a month or more. Which, I mean, you have. Missed an entire game. Yeah, I mean, the phrase I've heard, but not the way you've used it. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck on how to short lame. Ah, crap, I just realized how it's pronounced. I mean, I'll stick with it at this point, but I just realized it's pronounced lame. Oh, that you have. I mean, it's been months and months since you've been here. The catalog's there. I won't really fault you for getting overwhelmed at trying to watch it, but yeah. Just technically speaking, you can get caught up and watch all the stuff you missed, but that's only in theory. See, Turret Dragoon, that's fine. Evasion Fencer. I feel like that would conflict with Turret Dragoon, but maybe not. Yellowmancer. Vines, huh? And ailments. Oh, line. You know what? I might take that as a nickname, honestly. I was thinking more of like the lays and like ley lines, but with an M at the end. So, which again, if I pronounce that, it just comes out as lame. Because I can't quite think of what to put after the lay. I'm guessing you've actually tried to get caught up on all that. Or you're just realizing how much stuff there is to watch. But yeah. But Decim's Party... Again, Aetherian Barrage Brawler... I guess that could work. Muffins. Damn it. Would Muffins even fit? I know I said I wouldn't use meme names, but at this point I think I'm a bit more open to it. Nah, it's just Muffin. Bullying. Huh. Nothing. Yeah, I guess Lane could work then. Oh, hello, that's how backspace works. Go for a K. I mean, that sticks with my naming conventions. Lake Steer. I keep hitting caps thinking it's going to be backspace, but it's not backspace. I don't know. I've gotten used to how certain keys are larger than others, and they just haven't done the usual thing here for this keyboard. It's throwing me off. I mean, alright, it's going to take a little bit to explain what I think of your choices and where I'm coming from with it, and most of where I'm coming from is, like, from an optimization and min-maxing standpoint, which I have to keep saying because I know from experience that you can go for some very suboptimal race class picks and combinations in your party, and it still perfectly works. Like, again, I've told you, all Necromancer works, all Brownie works. I personally have done all Earthlane, only Dragoons and Fencers, and that works. Like, they can all beat the game. So when I tell you if a pick's bad or not, I'm not talking from will it work, I'm just talking from is that, like, the best possible way you could build that. I mean, that's kind of normal for me and Alyssa. Honestly, I might just stick with Lime for the nickname. That or Lime. And we just got a J. That's not for... Again, I thinking that's shift. That's not shift. Oh, yeah, that's fair enough. One thing I'll have to note, Reese, is that there is at least a 10-second delay on the stream. No, I can't shorten that. I mean, if I could, it'd be super choppy. Because, I mean, you're getting it straight from the source and the connections. Well, it's American quality. I know Line is... It's either an actual texting app or just the common name for texting apps that they mention a lot in Japanese media that take place in a more modern setting. So yeah, I'm not quite sure what the Yes I Love It's do. Lime, Line, or Jine. But yeah, because of that, if you don't add a bit more context to what you're talking about, then I may not actually know what you're talking about due to that time delay. Which means, since it's like, I know, when I say it's a 10-second delay, I mean it's a 10-second delay from when what I do on this screen shows up on my stream monitor, which is literally just the YouTube tab, so... Which I assume that 10 seconds later is when you see the stuff, which is then when you type it out, so technically there's like about 30 seconds. Yeah, so I guess I could just use Line then. That's the thing, like, I know I've heard Line, or rather read the name Line as a texting app in a lot of manga that take place in more modern stories. Yeah. Yeah, the time delay does take getting used to. There's a lot of things it takes getting used to when you're streaming. So I guess we'll just go with Line then as the nickname. Some mispronunciation of the first name. I'll take that. You unlock specializations after beating the second stratum boss. That's when you get your mastery classes. Yeah, there were indeed cicadas in the city. I don't really get cicadas around where I live. Or at least it's a very, very super rare occurrence to get them where I am. But stink bugs, though, they are everywhere. And wasps appear occasionally, too. I mean, wasps live in the area, but they only like once every few years take a nest near the home. Or like last year, they had a nest in the wall. Could hardly use a bathroom. Yeah, I mean, you'll be using some of those wonderful skills for the entirety of your playthrough, like the chain skills. I never really got to analyzing your party, though, huh? Oh well, if you find time for it, you find time for it. So, I gave the narrator his own voice in EO5. I feel like this is more of an internal monologue type thing here. It could be a narrator as well. I really don't know. Mid-August, some of your second year of high school is almost over. People visiting Tokyo have begun traveling back home. Feels as if there are fewer people about in Shibuya. Our cousin Naoya, with whom you've been living until a few years ago, suddenly called for you to meet him outside 901.
Hey! Over here!
Boy carrying a laptop computer runs up to you. It's really obvious where they have the gaps for player name. Yes, yes I did. So, you missed this story, because I think I explained it around when it was happening. So around, like, I guess late summer or midsummer or sometime is usually when wasps start to make nests. And it's quite old. It has water damage. It has leaking roofs. Yes, multiple. One of them is covered by a tarp, but the other one we just have some buckets. And the one with a tarp is a lot more waterlogged than the other. In fact, the wall is pretty rotten there. And while you can't see outside through the wall, you can feel an air current if you really pay attention. And so in that rotten wall, some wasps made it their home. And we had to deal with them going into the house. And because it's very old, there's a lot of that they could really just come out through anywhere. So there were wasps in the bedroom, wasps in the kitchen, wasps in the bathroom. And it was like that for a few months. Until winter came, and then they just kind of holed up and died. And now it's getting warmer. I don't know what's going to happen. Technically, wasps don't reuse nests, so they should go and fuck off elsewhere, but I just try not to think about the fact that it could have round 2 of wasps in the house. Anyway, aside from that, though, it's just stink bugs. They nest here. They come out the walls at spring when it's warm, and they come back into the walls in fall when it gets cool to hibernate. Stink bugs aren't really harmful, but they are plentiful, they are loud, and they are quite large for beetles. I mean, they aren't like large like the rhinoceros beetles or anything, but like for the insects we get around here, they're like maybe like thumbnail size. Like, not giant in the realm of bugs, but they are large as far as insects go. And noisy, and they are dumb, so they will just fly into any kind of light or place of warmth. Oh, glad you deleted that, because I missed it. Nice catch, Laura. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how long ago my house was built. Because I've heard like how many years ago it was, but not the exact year it was built. So I've heard 100 years, and then I heard 110 years. So of course there have been some renovations since then, but since like the early aughts, around 2000, the renovation stopped because that's when the Great Recession hit, which means no money for anybody except the fucking leeches at the top of society. But yeah, honestly, we do need to make some sizable repairs to the home, but for now we just gotta make do doing band-aid fixes. Anywho, a boy carrying a laptop computer runs up to you.
Yo, how's it going? Oh, real nice of Naoya to make us meet him outside on a hot day like this, isn't it? So how's your summer been? We usually meet at school, so it feels like it's been forever. Is everything good?
The thing I think that bothers me the most about voice acting in text-heavy games like this is that I oftentimes don't end up imagining the same voice for the character that the actual voice actor is, and that conflict tends to make me feel a bit displeased. That's really more of a me thing than an objective thing. That's just... eh. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of close to getting a job, and if I I don't know exactly how close because nobody really knows when the position will open up, but got a recruiting agency that's actually looking out for me right now, so it seems more like a matter of when rather than if, but also a matter of when is when we run out of money because, well, a family can't quite survive on the income we're getting, and it's just, yeah, really banking on me actually getting some income going. On the upside, though, I am in the computer software industry, or will be, which tends to pay very well.
Ah, that's the dude I know. Young guys like us need to be full of energy. Still, I couldn't think of anything to do, so I spent all day on my laptop. Oh, this is great timing though, man. I just ran into this problem with my coding.
Speak of the devil.
It has me completely stumped, so I was about to go ask Naoya if he could help.
Oh, there you are. I've been looking for you guys.
Hey, here comes Yoo-hoo.
Don't call me Yoo-hoo. My name is Yuzu. Ugh, will you stop calling me that stupid nickname? Even boys at school call me Yoo-hoo, and it's your fault.
Ha, it's not that bad, is it?
I mean, in Japanese, I don't know if Yoo-hoo's really that bad, but definitely in English, yeah, that's a cat call.
It's a friendly nickname. And it's not just our class. Some of the teachers actually think your name is Yoo-hoo.
That's because people like you keep calling me that.
Ha! It's working.
He keeps calling me Yoo-hoo.
Yeah, fair enough there, Alyssa.
Huh? Oh, that's right.
I mean, I've got a Ko-Fi link in the description, so if you do have the money to spare, you can send it there. Otherwise, yeah, this is I really the anxious part is that like I don't know exactly when the money will run out for the family, nor do I know when I'll get the job. So it's like two very ambiguous deadlines, and you don't know which one's going to come first.
I ran into Naoya a moment ago, and he asked me to give these to Atsuro and you.
Thankfully, though, I did go through some 6-week training recently in Salesforce development, and it was paid training, not in the fact that I pay them to train me, but actually they paid me to be trained. So that gave my family some money to work with, which will stave off the eventual bankruptcy if I don't end up getting work, I guess, in like, let's just say a few months for now. Not quite sure how long it'll be because my mom's doing her damnedest to make sure we don't go bankrupt, but we really aren't pulling in enough to break even.
He said that something's come up and he won't be able to make it.
Oh, what's up with that? Now you stood us up. Wait, what did he want you to give us?
Here, take them. They were a pain to carry around in my bag, too.
Yuzu opens her bag. By no means the first time I've seen Nintendo products inside a Nintendo game, but come on. Now I gave you these.
Aren't these those communication player things?
Nintendo DS's. Call them by their names. Actually, yeah, those are 3DS's. They should change that.
I've seen commercials for them before. They're like, play with people around the world.
Black market DS's.
Oh, you know about them, Yoo-hoo? That's exactly what these are. The name Communication Player is a real mouthful, so people just call them comps.
Yeah, comp sounds like a more apt name for a handheld device in the game.
Well, they have email and a web browser, so they're more like cell phones than game systems.
Ah, huh. Is that so?
The 3DS has a web browser, which you can technically access your email through, but not a dedicated email app. It's not that I know of. NPES 3DS. Alright.
Now you said you'll all need these. Don't let go of them.
Huh? You'll all need? Well, there are 3 of them. Still, why would we need these? I mean, I've got a comp back at my own... Huh?
Atsuro opens one of the comps and stares at it in wonder.
I've never seen this menu. Did he homebrew this?
Speaking of, I did homebrew one of my 3DSs.
What? Do you mean he made this himself? Is that even possible?
Sorry, it's just the... I guess it's the timing along with the phrasing of "do you mean he made this himself" implies that he made the entire comp himself and not just the program. Plus, when it comes to homebrewing, you tend to just download a bunch of tools and follow the instructions rather than make it yourself, so yeah. I'm gonna go with that guess as well, Desmond.
Huh? Don't you know Yoo-hoo? Now he is famous among us programmers. He's a genius. Something like this would be no problem for him.
Huh. I had no idea. Is he really that good?
I can't open this folder. Looks like it's protected.
Protected? You mean it's set so other people can't mess with it? We can't look inside then.
You don't have protected folders work. I mean, if we have admin rights on our own systems, then yeah, we can just remove the lock, or rather we can bypass it entirely with admin privileges. Can't really hide anything from a system admin because, I mean, the system admin has to be the one who manages everything. If they can't access something, nothing can access it, so then what's the point of having it?
Yeah, that's right. Good thing I brought my laptop along.
Atsuro connects the comp to his laptop and begins typing furiously. I'm still not sure if I'm going to give the narration an actual accent or dialect of some sort, just because I'm not sure if it's more of a... It definitely seems third person, but it doesn't seem to be, like, omniscient in any theory. Nor does it really feel like a narrator in the D&D sense. Super Mayra Bros.
Huh? Hey, Atsuro, what are you doing?
What does it look like? I'm gonna hack this folder wide open.
I've yet to hear any actual programmer use that phrasing.
You're hacking it? Hey, now he's gonna be angry if you do that.
Yeah, hacker. Just last week I had Hackerman Origins as one of the stream titles because it was Deus Ex. Yeah, it really shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, if I weren't a programmer myself at this point, I would think it might be a big deal, because generally you shouldn't mess with tech that you aren't familiar with. But once you actually start to learn how the tools work, it's... Yes, there is the risk of totally breaking the system, but I mean, you have to really, really fuck up to break your system. It's just we've emphasized that risk, so that way people who don't know what they're doing don't end up breaking their system. The process, but if you have even like half an idea, it's pretty difficult to break it.
Huh? Are you sure about this?
You don't get it, Yoo-hoo. Now he is my teacher. If he took the time to call me up and give it to me, that means he wants me to break his protection scheme. It's like a friendly greeting.
That doesn't make any sense.
That one makes half a sense to me.
Like a normal person.
Normal is relative.
Let's take a look here. What's his encryption scheme this time? Isn't this intense?
Can't say I've dealt with encryption myself, though. I mean, I have had to deal with decrypting stuff, but like the keys are available elsewhere, or I haven't like had to actually decrypt things manually or write the tools myself. I've only ever done decrypting by using other people's stuff.
No.
Which again is following instructions.
You would find this exciting, Atsuro.
Ha! There we go. Well, you can at least check your mail for now. Here, these are yours.
Let's see. Ah. Need to reach the bottom of the email to close the email here. Interesting. Ah, that scroll bar is narrow. I didn't notice it first. Alright, good morning. Here's today's news. At around 4 o'clock, a man will be killed in Shibuya-ku Aoyama apartment. Wounds on the corpse are consistent with an attack by a large carnivorous beast. It is 3:30 right now. That isn't into... Ah, from the Observer. Makes sense. 2. A large explosion will occur in Manatu Aoyama at... Again, I see it's military time. I'm trying to convert quickly to standard time, or rather 12-hour clock, and I'm not as super fast as I'd like to be. I would like things to be in 24-hour clock time, so you don't have to worry, like, oh, does 7 refer to 7 a.m. or 7 p.m., when in 24 hours, 7 means 7. There's only one 7. Which is why I prefer 24-hour time, and I have switched my system down to 24-hour time, but, like with trying to convert to Celsius, like with trying to learn Japanese, there's just nobody around here that uses the system. So it's hard to, like, keep thinking in it when nobody really... When you don't use it, it's hard to maintain it, let alone grow it. Anywho... 19 would be 7. Alright. Speaking of 7, cause is unknown. At 9, a blackout will affect the entire Tokyo metropolitan area. Have a nice day. What's so important about the man being killed in Shibuya-ku Aoyama apartment, though?
At around 1600 in Shibuya-ku Aoyama, a man will be killed?
You know, I don't know if I can trust that server to not fuck things up, but at this point, I'm just going to trust in our plot arbor. So I'll just trust things turn out okay. The weird thing is that I haven't really fully acknowledged it till now, or realized it, that I still kind of... I act as if I have IRL plot armor to a degree. Like, not in the I can't be injured in any possible way, but rather in the everything will turn out fine some way or another. I don't know how yet, but it will. Just have faith things will go towards the good ending. Or a good ending. Which is weird, because there's not much basis for that. I think it's a good thing mentality to have, though. Because the alternative is to get depressed and then vanish from the internet. And then maybe vanish physically as well. Just fuck, being poor sucks. I mean, really sucks, especially in America, where everything costs. Even being poor is expensive. Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, go ahead. Yeah, I haven't really done video... I haven't done much video editing. I tried to... I mentioned it before and even posted it in Report a while ago. Yet, my first real attempts at video editing, I put in a lot of effort into it, but then realized I'm spending far more time actually editing the videos than I am playing the game. And I'd want to put out edited videos because I want to make money by playing games, and now I actually see why just doing commentary over raw footage is so prevalent on YouTube. It's really... It's low effort. You get to play more game than you edit, for the most part. Also why people with some actual money tend to have a dedicated editing PC, because holy shit does video editing take up so much resources. Like, the two most demanding things you can do with your PC is 3D modeling and video editing. Like, trying to render a video in a video editor will max out your CPU and probably max out your GPU too if you allow it. And even then, it's still going to take, depending on how many effects and how long the video is, it could take like 8 hours to render fucking... Or actually, it does take like 8 hours to upload like maybe a 20-minute video or something. It's fucking ridiculous. That's kind of why I do streams, because YouTube handles all the converting into video stuff for me. This is literally I just have to set aside the 2.5-ish hours to do the stream. And that's it. There isn't much more prep or time committed to it. Yeah. It's because of just how goddamn time consuming video editing is, I ended up not pursuing that. Maybe once I'm an actual programmer, maybe I'll make a second PC for just editing, and then I might pick it up again, but it is kind of a commitment, isn't it?
He'll be attacked by some carnivorous beast. What kind of news is this? That's so creepy.
I mean, if I didn't know this was a story, then I definitely would be very doubtful of this email, but since it's a story, I know this is the actual future stuff. Yeah, raw footage is also a thing that happens too. So there's commentary-style videos which just have raw gameplay or maybe some jump cuts in there. You know, you just show the clips, and then you just comment over the recording. Or you do live commentary and put that out there. That happens too. Or you just do what's called a long play, which is to have absolutely no commentary whatsoever. It's just raw gameplay. It's a threat. Well, how is Pokemon Crystal then? Because I remember those Gen 2 Pokemon games coming up before, and like, I've mentioned this, I don't know where in my house it is, but there's definitely a Pokemon Crystal cartridge for the Game Boy somewhere in this house. I know I've seen it in here. Don't know where it could be. Oh, the 3DS screen? That's where phone footage is rough. If you're holding it by hand, then you have to deal with your hand shaking. At which point you have to create like kind of a stand for it, and if you don't have a stand, you have to makeshift one, and then it gets awkward to use the 3DS itself. It's like, Oh yeah, this is about when the enemy team comes up. I remember in Leaf Green and I think Pearl and Platinum. Yeah, it's like the antagonist team kind of takes a back seat or like a side plot up until the 7th gym, and once you beat the 7th gym, it's like then you have to really deal with them, and then their boss is the leader of the 8th gym. That seems to be a pattern. Yeah, that is creepy. It's just the news. I mean, it is the news. But yes, this text is strange because it's all the future.
Hey, that's not the point.
It also said there'll be a blackout in Tokyo today. What is this? It says it's today's news, but none of this has happened today. Why would now you put a lock on this? Ooh, maybe it's code for something.
No, dude, I think it's literally just future stuff. Did you pay attention to the times on there? It's all literally the future. Slide out into the gym. Yeah, that sounds about right. Things getting serious with Team Rocket.
Aoyama. Naoya's place is near there, but is that important?
That's enough. This is way too creepy.
So I found it a little weird. The game started at 1500, now we're at 1530. Has it really just been a half hour? I mean, a half hour in stream time, yeah, it's been an hour actually. I mean, I have been blathering on, and I'm glad it's not auto-playing. I can actually take the time to... I hate to talk over cutscenes because I want to experience the story and immerse myself in it a bit, and I assume you guys do too, which is why I don't talk over it. Which makes me glad that it's not auto-playing, because I can actually pause to respond to you. I agree with that assessment, Alyssa.
I bet now you knew you would tinker with the comps and played a trick on us.
I don't know. He's amazingly smart, so I think he must have meant for this to happen.
Yeah, so my control scheme for EO should work. It's just... I know T's start. I forget what I assigned for select, though, if that's even used. Also, X and Y I might get confused for a bit, because I know I have WASD for the D-pad, E for the A button, R for the B button, T for start, left shift for the L shoulder button, and spacebar for the right shoulder button. That's where my pinky and thumb rest. And then I have Q and F for X and Y, but I forget which one's X and which one's Y. So you don't really use those buttons that often. And select is either G or Y, because it's right next to T. Anywho, that's based... Oh, and then the circle pad is IJKL, which is the WASD on the right side of the keyboard. Yeah, I have to move my hand for that, because, I mean, circle pad gets rarely used. Oh, I feel you there, Desum, but, I mean, you can try out the... Okay, excuse the going from full screen. I know it's like, when I switch... The emulator's in full screen, and when I switch it out of focus, it goes black for like a frame. But on stream, it goes black for like 10 seconds. So, apologies for this. Let me just show you controls. Yes, here. Oh, it's G. Cool. And so, yes, I mean, feel free to try this out. This is how I do. Again, this would work for a fully turn-based type of game. Because if it's real-time, I don't think this will really work. Yeah. Again, with the cutscenes, I do actually use both screens, which is why I have it organized vertically instead of another orientation. But we'll see how it goes throughout the game, but for now I'll keep it with as the 3DS has it physically. But yes, do feel free to use this config for your own config setups. This is set up so that way you can play the game entirely with, or rather mostly with one hand, because you use the mouse for the stylus. So you basically just have the mouse only for the stylus, and then everything else is controlled by your left hand. Just everything's there. Everything is easily in reach. Got WASD, ERQ, Q is X and F is Y. Yep. The only awkward thing is the circle pad, because it's IJKL on the other side of the keyboard. And I guess the C-stick too, but again, when do you really use the circle pad and C-stick in these turn-based type games? Okay. I was cross-legged for a bit, and I've uncrossed them, and just now it's hitting me that my left leg actually fell asleep without me realizing it, and now it's in pins and needles. Ugh. Anywho, that's that. So back to full screen.
I can't figure it out from just this. I'll try the rest of these files too. I'm gonna go find somewhere I can think. Go kill some time. Oh, you can take the comps. Some of their functions still work, so you might as well try them out. See you later, okay?
Sora leaves the area to take a closer look into the comp. Oh, by the way, Sora, I know you mentioned, well, if you happen to be still here, because I know you tend to leave without saying anything, but if you are still here and you do plan to start your own Devil Survivor playthrough at the same time as mine, just be prepared for it to take a while, because I'm really... Unless there's, like, some inconsequential grinding that I can do in between streams, it's really just going to be 4 hours a week. And you will get to experience what it's like having a game you want to play, but you can't play it except for 2 2-hour blocks every week. Yeah. Pulling Crystal takes an average 28 hours to complete. 168 to 100%. What the hell? Yeah, that feels appropriate. Okay, yeah, because anything that's kind of like inconsequential drudgery that I can do, I do let myself do off-stream. Just because, I mean, it'd be a whole lot of nothing burger on-stream if you guys don't feel like talking a lot like you do right now.
I bet it's all just a prank. Atsuro always acts like such a kid with stuff like this.
I mean, so far Yuzu's giving me a better impression than Atsuro, and the fact that she's trying to... at least she's not deliberately being a jerk in some small capacity, but she's also not quite adaptable. Also, the headphone things that I've got on, they have this back thing goes in there. Are those supposed to be cat ears or devil horns? Oh yeah, I did say 28 on average. I mean, there's just plenty of RNG inside Pokemon. It's running pretty inefficient, huh? Yeah, I can imagine. Like, in 5, you don't really get the good grinding spots until you basically nearly complete a stratum. So, being stuck in like 428 for a week or two that it was really bad. Because I so wanted to get the grinding done and out of the way so we could blitz through to 30. But no, it's just so inefficient until you get to like 430.
What should we do? Why don't we wander around until Atsuro's done?
You and Yuzu leave the 901. Because I'm not too familiar with the local area, because of course I don't live in Japan at all. So I don't actually know where the 901 is. Oh, is voice acting done? I really don't know if I should try to voice her myself. I still don't have confidence in female. in female voices. Choose the location you'd like to go to next to continue the story events. So press Q to open the comp menu where you can save the game, among other things. Oh, it automatically opened the comp, because of course, and it's 4. Like, it does make me wonder how you can spend an hour just chatting this briefly, but then again, it's been an hour since stream started, and what have we been doing? Yeah, it is. In any game that has manual saving, it's a bit of a habit to save any time things seem a little suspicious. Well, when exactly did you leave? And also, I spent a lot of time talking with Decim and Alyssa, so... Is Reese at all in there? Nope, I don't think Reese is here right now. Yeah, we got the comps up. I discussed some stuff about the comps. At least what I think is up with the comps. Also noticing the cat ears that our protagonist has as part of the headphone headrest? Is that what it is? Headband, I guess. These headphones are weird. I mean, I'm wearing headphones too. In fact, I wear my headphones a lot for a different reason. It's not to look cool. They have a practical purpose for sound isolation. I kinda didn't fully read that last one, so I'm not quite sure what I need to do right now. That is a very slow save. And again, it is 45% CPU speed, so fair enough. According to the manga. Well, we'll see where I go, but only after I check out their stuff. Let's see, Hachido Kihara, high school classmate and best friend of Lane. Acquainted with Naoya through programming forums online before meeting Lane. Striving to become a programmer, calls himself Naoya's #1 apprentice. Fair enough. Thing arrow, so what's that? 109. Yeah, fair enough. Our place is happening again. Yeah, that's also why I wasn't too sure if Line was like the actual name or not, because it, for the same reason you mentioned, because the copyright, they tend to tweak the names and stuff in the logos, so I wasn't quite sure if Line was the actual name, despite it being mentioned. Yuzu Tanikawa, childhood friends with Lane since grade school. Also knows his cousin now, yeah. Still friends with Lane now that they're in high school together. Atsuro likes to call her Yuhu. Even though I'm on live chat, I don't see the link, so YouTube might auto-ban those. Yeah, McDonald's. That is a common one. So I guess we'll get plot emails. I've been playing Mega Man Battle Network. I just realized I was saying Mega Man so fast I was basically slurring it. And you get emails in that game too, because, I mean... Sorry, I haven't and I don't think I've ever explained or shown the plot of it. But yes, there's email system in that game too. And you get plot critical emails as well. At very convenient times. So I see we have plot emails as well. What's in config? Ah, we could turn the voices. I mean, I'll keep the voices on since I've had them on, but hey, whatever. We should skip. LNR buttons. Well, it's my first time playing, so I don't want to accidentally skip stuff, so I'll keep that off. I mean, unless message skip includes, like, combat messages, which we could end up seeing thousands of times. Which, yeah, in which case I would want it on, but, like, actual dialogue skipping, I don't want to do it by accident. Professor. Oh, oh yeah, I did notice a new thing in Report, but I haven't gone over to check it just because of the whole black screen thing I've mentioned with full screen multiple times by now, but only one time on this present stream. I do wish Citra had a borderless full screen, or window full screen, or borderless window. There's been a lot of names, but I think the most common name I see is borderless window. It's full screen, but not really. Rat-a-tat is a percent of rat-a-tat. Never said which percent. Rat-a-tat is in the top 100% of rat-a-tat. That's for sure. Okay, direction. Oh, cool. I'll leave it on the default then, since I, automatic, register someone's death. Learn of the government's final option. Tokyo and Yuzu's 8th day. Travel demons accept those. After completion of the compendium. So let me crack. Finish the game a certain way, certain way, certain way, certain. There's a lot of endings. A certain way. With no free battles. I guess free battles is how you do the grinding thing, which means we're not getting that. Now, without any death. This is why I would have maybe been tempted to do easy or to grind if this is what I think it is, which is that you have permadeath and story fights. Go, so man controls time. So that's probably for bosses, isn't it? I'm just wondering, because you mentioned that they go to a love hotel in the manga, and whether it's bogus or not, I'm just wondering if you actually can. I don't know, that guy, I mean, he doesn't seem good. But with a portrait like that, and knowing how a character looks tends to indicate their own personalities and how evil or not they are, I'm tempted to think that guy is a bit on the sociopathic side. Also feel like he'd be a teacher. Where'd it go? Oh yeah, where did it say that dead guy would be? Killed in Shibuya, Aoyama apartment. Sorry, that was my Game Boy. As I mentioned, I can play the entire game with my left hand as long as I don't need to use the mouse for anything. So my right hand's free. Been playing with the GBA, like physically. My right hand. To prove it. Yeah, let's keep the volume in. That's it. It's a refurbished model, so it's not perfectly functioning, but I mean, nothing that really hinders actual operation. The things that aren't perfect is I guess the battery panels may be a bit over-tightened because it does seem to go recess a little bit into the case. There is a faint scratch on the screen itself. It looks like there's a hair there, but it's not actually a hair. Maybe I can clean that off, actually. And also, there's a... The two main issues that actually are of any importance, though, is that when the battery gets low, the light goes red, but then it goes back to green after a bit, and then it goes back to red after a bit, so I'm not actually certain if it's low or not. I've never actually let the battery run out, so I don't know when it actually first turns red for, if it's like halfway or a third or whatever. Only battery indicators, so who knows. Got the charger on hand though, so not a major issue. And the other issue with the refurbished model is that the volume slider, so audio's fine, except while you're moving the volume slider, there's a fair bit of static and audio errors. But only while you're changing the volume. Once you stop moving the slider, everything's perfectly fine. But you want to know which game? Alright then, I'll let the title music play. Yeah, what about chest plate? Wait, is there actually an opening cutscene for this game? No, there is not. It just goes back to the whatever. Anywho, maybe you can actually hear where this act if I fiddle with the. I don't know if that comes off at all, and honestly, with this game, the static is hardly noticeable. But for some other games, like the static is kind of ear-rapey when you fiddle with the slider at a higher volume. Anywho. Oh, they're not being repaired? Oh, that is unfortunate. Remember, like, it was some years ago, but I did a little research on Nintendo, and yeah, they tend to have a really, really good repair program. Like, I don't think they even care if you have a warranty on it or not. They'll just repair it if you submit it. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that should be fine. Let's see, I have a 3DS XL, so that can't be repaired. But I have a new 2DS. I think it's XL. Probably would be XL if anything. Which, I mean, it's just a new 3DS, but without the 3D feature. I kind of miss the 3D feature, though. That's the thing, like, when I got the 3DS, like with the touchscreen, people weren't really that familiar with the 3D feature, so it was kind of badly implemented. And then at, like, the end of the life cycle, I'm just like, alright, I'll just get the 2D version because I don't use the 3D. But then I, like, tried out the 3D on EO5. One of the last games there for the 3DS, along with Nexus and stuff, and it's really good. Like, it really enhances the gameplay. Okay, not the gameplay, it really enhances the experience. Like, it really does make me wish I got a new 3DS XL instead of a new 2DS. Wow. Yeah, but you can still try to submit it, and if not, you can just look into it. Probably shouldn't take that long to look into it. Shibuya, Aoyama, Minatoku, Aoyama, and entire Tokyo metropolitan area. I'm sorry, the Q suffix there, I'm not sure what that means. Thing is, I can't get a new 3DS right now. And by can't, I'm saying I won't, because I've got, I think, about $500 to spend right now. But as I said, I have no income, and a new 3DS would be probably like $200 or something. Maybe even $300 if it's because it might be a collector item at this point. I know a Game Boy Advance SP is anywhere from $150 to like $500. When I bought this, like 3 or 4 years ago. So now, I mean, it could still be $100 for a GBA, but it could also be like $1,000. Yeah, Nintendo's really good with repairs. Yeah, Nintendo does a lot of things right. They might be a bit aggressive with the copyright stuff, and they might seem a little stubborn on some issues, Mostly with fan-created content that uses their IPs, which I guess just copyright things. But like everything else, Nintendo has been fantastic with their services. Except for I think the newest stuff. The newest stuff, it seems like they're starting to succumb to the capitalist machine. Because while I have an OG Switch, I really haven't used it because PC. I mean, I get all these games onto PC, so I don't feel much reason to play onto Switch, but also because the charger for the Switch is literally on the other side of the room, and I have to walk like 8 feet to get to it. And 8 feet is just too much when I can just play onto PC. So I don't know if Shibuya-ku Aoyama apartment refers to Shibuya or to Aoyama, because I don't know what the ku suffix means. And if Reese were still here, he might be able to tell me. Because I want to see a dead guy's corpse. Yeah, I'll check out Aoyama then. Yeah, let's take a look around. Let's see, just off the main street is a quite residential area. Salvage stores hide here. Oh cool, it doesn't take up any time. Good day, hot today, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think I'll voice any of the main cast that actually have voices. Because, well, they have their voices, and I don't think I'll imitate them well enough. I don't feel confident enough in that. Yeah, the thing is that, speaking of charging cable being across the room, I actually moved the charging cable from my GBA to right next to my PC. So I can actually charge this while I'm here at my desk. So otherwise I have to, when the battery gets low and the charging link gets all wonky, I have to go across the room to plug it in, which I'm going to do because I don't want the battery to run out. And then I'm just going to leave it there for like a day and a half because I just can't be bothered to walk 8 feet across the room. But with it next to me, I mean, yeah, I'll unplug it as soon as it's done charging. Oh, that is good to know. Yeah, I have a feeling that probably would have been mentioned in the manual, if not in the help thing. Oh, wait. That literally isn't there. Events marked with the clock icon consume 30 minutes. Selecting action. Yes. It does mention that. I've been too busy talking to actually read that part of the screen. Let's see. Okay, so Astro text in time. Some guy I feel like I'm going to end up killing this guy eventually. Knowing me and knowing how I feel about people who seem sociopathic in games, we tend not to jive. I mean, I'd like to get along with people and cooperate instead of bloodshed, but I also... when I see a problem person, I'm just waiting for the best excuse to fucking off their asses. Give them a one-way ticket to heck. Congestion causing for... that is rough. Oh, so you don't actually feel that much better. Well, hopefully you feel significantly better than yesterday, but... man, it sucks you really aren't feeling that well. But at least it's congestion. Congestion, I think congestion's allergies, rather than a cold or an illness. Don't think I've been hit by allergies yet. This area bustles with many types of people. Look for people in orange are speaking. Are those the... are those the Shomankai freaks? Do they ever shut up about God? It's so boring. Yeah, so I'm assuming you actually got to sleep well. At least for a while. Oh, so after I checked in on you last night, you probably hit your second wind, didn't you? So you didn't actually get much sleep. While I am slightly disappointed in you if that's the case, I also totally get where you're coming from because I've done the same thing multiple times. It'd really be the pot calling the kettle black if I really seriously call you out for that. Assuming you actually did stay up to the point that your second one kicked in. Like I'm assuming. Meantime, I'm gonna pour some water because I'm starting to get dry throat. During the second one. Yeah, I have been there many a time where it's just like, yeah, I'll go to bed at like midnight, I'm getting real drowsy, and it's like midnight 30 and you're awake, and now you're up until 4. Right, it's not disappointment, it was resignation. That was the feeling, that was the word I was trying to think of. They're similar, or at least similar reactions. They both elicit the sigh. Oh, 11 hours? That's nice. Japan to Florida. I don't know how crazy Yokai Watch gets, but Florida might be an apt relocation. A place full of training people in unique fashions, wishing to see and be seen. Are you hitting on me? It's the other chick, and maybe we'll talk. The shop line is giving this place a calming atmosphere. Oh, we've only talked to females. Like, I don't have an option in who I speak to when I choose to listen in on the locals, but they have all been female. This is a great place to spend my mad money? Given when this came out, mad money is probably like, you have a lot of money? But if it was more contemporary, then that would actually be like, you're just spending money because you're angry. The front of the station and the shopping district are full of bustling people, and that should be a list to people here. Long hair. This NPC is called Long Hair. I have no indication on gender. I'm going to assume female, though, because I mean, yeah, men can have long hair too, but generally in fictional media, long hair is associated with females. So, probably female. Is there anything fun to do around here? Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough, Sora. I haven't heard that story, Decim, but I don't doubt it. Well, I used to think it absurd. I have started in some of the gaming news videos I come across, I have been hearing more stories of people just spending in anger a very absurd amount of money. Like, what was it, like $17,000 on Lost Ark in the first month? Which, I mean, that sounds like a lot, and that's way more than I have, but I remember Asmongold actually had an interview with the guy, and he's a programmer, and he didn't say exactly how much he makes, but he makes way more money than that in a month, so he can afford to spend $17K on the game, but like, god damn, that's a lot of money. Yeah, and speaking of, towards the end of the interview, the guy did mention that what got him into gachas and spending so much money on games in the first place was Genshin Impact. That is apparently the gateway drug. For me, the games I have spent more than the upfront box price on are, I think, Elder Scrolls Online. I don't quite remember if I spent much on that. Because they have the expansion packs, which, I mean, fair enough on that. And maybe they have crowns for cosmetics, but I don't think I actually bought anything for that. There was For Honor, which I did spend a couple $100s on before I realized I was just burnt out on the game and wasn't having much fun. I haven't played it since. And then there was Warframe, which I spent like $100 or $2 over the last year I've played it. I've been more conscious about how much money I'm spending because it's the second game I've actually tried to, you know, spend money on. TikTok. Maybe. I bet it'll be an iPhone though. Or heck, it could even be a Switch. Or a Steam Deck. I do want a Steam Deck. I think one of the first things I will spend my programmer money on is a Steam Deck. There's one has told the stream watchers not to donate to him. Yeah, is a fair thing to point out. That is impressive. Wait, then why did... I'm sorry, if they can donate to him, I feel like he has like a donation link in the description like I do, but it could also just be built into the site, because I think Twitch and YouTube, if you get to like the partner level with them, like not if you're starting out, not if you're a small town like me, but actually have like a technical term partnership with them, I think there's like a built-in donation button. It's definitely some commitment, though. I mean, I try not to peddle much, just because I still like to think of it from the viewer's perspective, and try not to actively worsen your experience, just if it'll make me a quick buck, but I do have to admit that, yeah, I am not in a financially secure place. So there is the donation link down there that you can use, but also emphasize that only if you got money to spare, because I don't want to make you poor in order... I don't want you to become poor in trying to help me not be poor. Yeah, I don't know if I have YouTube donations enabled. I'm not sure if I can enable them. And I think I heard they take like a huge cut out of it too. I think it's like 30% or something if your donation just goes to YouTube itself. With Ko-Fi, as same deal with maybe Patreon, but definitely with Ko-Fi, it's like, it's basically just handled through PayPal, so only you use like a little bit of it to PayPal processing fees. It's like a single percentage, as opposed to 30%. Yeah, totally. No inspiration whatsoever from EO5 in your game. Not at all. Alright, Ebisu. This area has a different feel to it than the station, front, or the garden plaza. It really sucks to have to work on a holiday. Well, sounds like your day's gonna get a hell of a lot worse. It's like we could talk to this guy who seems awfully suspicious just from the portrait, or we could just go to the friend. Yeah, I know for like just getting money from ads on YouTube, you have to hit like I think it was like 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of like watch hours in the last month. Which watch hours is just like the total cumulative time people have spent watching your stuff. If that wasn't self-explanatory. Which like I fall well under, so I do not get AdSense revenue for anything. Which means you are free to use ad blockers however much you want with me. Because any ads you see on my stuff, none of that goes to me. None of that is from me either. The only thing I am aware of that will go to me is the Ko-Fi link. And that's it. Anything else, you are free to ignore or shut out or whatever. So do I speak to Astro or do I speak to the mystery guy? I'm wondering because, well, I do not want to speak to Mr. Suspicious Sociopath over here. The whole point of us going out and about is to just leave Astro to do his thing, you know? Rough calls. Well, we did look around, I guess. Wait, was Shinjuku one of... Let's see, Shibuya, Aoyama, Minato, Aoyama, and an entire thing, so... Shibuya, Minato... Yeah, there's Aoyama and there's Shibuya, so I guess we'll go talk to Atsuko.
Hey, don't be so impatient. Even with my skills, I can't finish my analysis that fast.
You're not as good as you claim to be, then?
Don't be ridiculous. Now you wrote this encryption program.
Somehow I feel like that's low for the 7th gym, but on the other hand... I think it depends on the game. In some games you can beat the Elite Four at like around level 50. Even level 40. Other games you have to be like level 80 or level 100 to really stand a chance against the Elite Four. So yeah, since I'm not too familiar with Crystal, I'm not sure how low or high level 32 is, but I know that's level 32 out of 100. Which, I mean, isn't even halfway to the height of your Pokemon's power.
A normal man couldn't solve this in a week, but I'll have it done in a matter of hours.
All right. You're Naoya's best apprentice. We get it.
That's exactly right, Yoo-hoo.
Ah, so you're around where you should be.
Don't call me Yoo-hoo.
Ah, so it is one of the game's lower-ish levels. Fair enough. Oh, then you have room for post-game content. Right. I'm not familiar with Crystal's post-game content. Or rather, post-Elite Four is what I mean by post-game. But I think it's reasonable to assume it should take you to at least level 50. And maybe to level 100 too, without having to really grind too much.
Let's go. He can stare at that screen until his eyeballs explode.
I have a hard time believing your eyeballs even could explode from showing at a screen, but I know back around when this released, that was something people somewhat believed. It's really stupid now. Wait, you go to a different region? Whoa. I'm sorry, just going to like an actual region that appeared in an old Pokemon game is something that's a little mind-blowing to me. Because like our recent Pokemon games, it's all just the one region, and maybe you have like an island off on there, like the Battle Frontier or something. Not like you have the entire continent from the past game to explore. I don't know if that's just because the file size, or if they put more effort into it, or what. Maybe just the continents are bigger in the later games.
Anyway, I'll be a bit longer, so go find something to do.
I think I have the ROM for Emerald, because I own Emerald, but I've mentioned before that the Emerald, or rather Gen 3, is when they had actual real-time elements to the game. And to actually enable that on the GBA, because the GBA doesn't have an internal clock in here, they actually have a watch battery inside the cartridge to keep track of the time within the game, and that watch battery has died in my cartridge for Emerald, so time is forever frozen. I mean, you can manually set it back at the clock at home, but you're not going to do that every time you want your berries to grow. It's... That's still Gen 2. That's just a re-release of Gen 2. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, having to fit... So I did do a bit of research into GBA coding. It's still something I want to pick up, but I'm having a hard time, like, getting myself motivated enough to go fully through with it. The big roadblock I hit the first time, though, was sprites. Trying to figure out how I can get some sprite sheets into actual workable code I can use. That wasn't... That's where I stalled. But yeah, there is like some small... It's like... I don't know how much space you actually have on a Game Boy cartridge, but on a Game Boy Advance cartridge, you have 32 megabytes. And that's it. For that whole cartridge. That's how much space you fit in there. So yeah, there are some size concerns. If you have some gigantic maps, especially if you make them look different. That's another reason why you'll see so much copy-pasted and palette swap stuff. Because palette swaps is you don't need a new sprite, you just need a new color palette, which is a lot less memory. And also you reuse assets a lot because, you know, you just need the one tree. And now you have all of the trees. Of course, it looks worse, and now that we aren't as restricted by size limitations, I mean, we're going back to size limitations because we're getting way too careless with our 4K textures. But before 4K became a prevalent, yeah, its size was no longer really a concern, but back in the Game Boy days, oh boy. You had to optimize the hell out of your stuff for this.
The stores around here are really fashionable. They're all, like, so mature, you know?
Oh my god, that way of talking I have not heard in a fucking decade and a half. Ugh. I don't know anyone, fictional or otherwise, who talks like this, but alright. I'm only lamenting because it's been so long since I've heard this kind of gal talk.
I used to go to Harajuku all the time, but I always wanted to fit in at Omotesando. Hey, do you think I stick out like a sore thumb here?
Give it another year. Honestly, I have no idea what the other people look like here, so I'll just say nah, you fit right in.
No way. Really? Aw, thanks.
You're Gen 7 on Pokemon Emerald ROM. I mean, yeah, that... Let's see, doing that. The ROM might not have the 32 megabyte limitations. Exactly, doesn't. But yeah, I'm remaking Gen 7 on Pokemon Emerald. I can see that. Because, well, I know I did say it's 32 megabytes, but from what I read, I didn't have multiple sources to corroborate it, so I only have the one article I read that the largest GBA game was like 17 megabytes, so they never actually hit the cartridge size limitations. Or so they say, because in some retrospectives on Mega Man Battle Network that I've been watching lately, the programmers did complain about size limitations with the games, so maybe pre-compressed they had size issues, but then they really optimized the hell out of it. I don't know. Yeah, fair enough, so I guess I will try to optimize things then. I know kid me would have tried to do things the cool way and do a bit of a half and half compromise, like gotta be powerful and good looking. And now I honestly may still do the same thing, but I'll favor the powerful more so than the good looking. Except in story-wise. Story-wise, I'm just going with my own moral compass.
Don't you think that Harajuku and Omotesando have different images? Omotesando feels more like Aoyama's style than Harajuku's.
Again, I have not been to these places at all, and I only have this background image to go by, so this question is practically meaningless to me. Yeah, oh yeah, that would be the case, wouldn't it? If the cartridge size is 16 megabytes, that would explain that. So yeah, that means 32 is the maximum addressable memory size then. Yeah. Yeah, those sizes do make sense. And I think a point that I never quite managed to meander to on that topic is that the bulk, and really the bulk of the memory that gets used up in games is the graphics, the textures. That is where the bulk of the memory size goes to, especially if there's any kind of pre-rendered videos. You know those are gigabytes. Or megabytes or whatever. If we're just talking like sprites or stuff, that's like some bytes or kilobytes of data. And the code itself is never more than like a few hundred kilobytes too. Or I guess if it's a super extensive game, maybe it's a couple megabytes of code, but yeah, most of the data is art assets. Well, pre-rendered art assets, that is. Pre-compiled, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, it is a trade-off between memory space and speed. Because you can save on space by just rendering all the art assets as you're running the game, but you don't necessarily have the leeway with the hardware to maintain your frame rate while also rendering everything. And with the GBA, that just means missed frames, because this hardware runs at a fixed frame rate. It's a fixed 59.97 FPS, basically 60. And it does not run faster, it does not run slower. If you can't do anything in a frame's time, it just doesn't get done in a frame's time. There's no slowdown or lowering of frame rate or anything, it chugs along. Also, it made me realize why doing a lot of old engines computed things on a frame-by-frame basis, and when you are doing things at a hardware level, and frame is the most convenient timing tool you have, yeah, because there's no internal clock for you to use to gauge things by a second-by-second basis, it's just frame-by-frame, so doing all your computations by the frame makes a lot of sense. That's a really easy way to do things. Otherwise, you have to kind of come up with a clock system. That's just more complicated, and you just get more cycles to maintain the clock, and that could cause problems. Isn't like a RuneScape tick every 6 seconds? Yeah, whatever. Wait, Emerald has like 5 sprite sheets? Actually, I'm not quite sure how big a sprite sheet is, so I'm not sure if 5 is really as few as I'm thinking. Ah, damn. But yeah, that's a... Yeah. Optimization has gotten really poor in recent years, for games that is, as well as for tech in general, and it's mostly because we've gotten complacent with the hardware we've had. The hardware has gotten so much better that the software side has been able to get lax and achieve the same or better results, but that's starting to catch up with us.
Speaking of Aoyama, hey, what time is it right now?
4:30.
16:30? I was just thinking about that email in the comp.
I mean, I was too. I was hoping we could actually find the guy's corpse as it's happening, but oh well.
You know, the one about someone being attacked by a carnivorous beast?
I know IRL, I just be keeping an eye on the news for when that happens, when it gets reported, but like, as long as I'm a character and therefore have some degree of plot armor, I'm like, I am for freaking sure gonna see this firsthand. One for all characters, one for all ground tiles, one for all Pokemon. Oh, wow. Wouldn't the Pokemon sprite sheet be a lot larger than the... No, wait, you only need like 1 or 2 sprites per Pokemon, don't you? Or maybe 4 sprites, because you need the front facing and the back facing, you need the Cry sprite as well as the Idle sprite, so there's like maybe 4 sprites. Hmm. I'm saying it half for myself and half just because, to be aware, I really do want to pick up GBA coding as like a hobby. Because I got the resources for it, I just need to like peel myself away from the games I'm playing to go do the GBA coding. Because, wow, I actually am legit interested in it. And I am still playing GBA games, as I have discussed. And actually, the other day I got word that Mega Man Battle Network 6 has rollback netcode now. They finally have a stable release of a mod for, wait, how long ago was 2006? 16 years? 16-year-old game. The modders have now added rollback netcode to it. I am excited to see how tournaments will be like that, but we'll see. It got announced like yesterday. Oh, 5 for each? Yeah, front cry, front idle, back cry, back idle. Oh yeah, I forgot about the icon. Otherwise, I was on point there. Nice. So I like how the wireless signal is actually changing. I like that. That's a nice touch. Sorry, the wireless icon signal up here. The battery's still full. So let me turn down some settings. DS3. Yep. Or like how Elden Ring still stutters, even though it like recommended GPU 1060 that came out like almost a decade ago. I got a 2070, it still stutters. I mean, it doesn't stutter that much for me when I'm playing it on its own, but any other programs are running it, it's just like, no, you will not get stable frame rate. use a Windows update. Oh, I wish you luck with that. I disabled Windows updates on my PC. Because, well, the updates kind of cause problems. There's a security side of it, so I do update it every now and again. I do disable my Windows Update Disabler periodically to actually do the security updates, but otherwise, no. Yeah, I was surprised at that when I read Elden Ring's like minimum recommended specs. It's just a GTX 1060, and I'm like, that is a really old graphics card, but also kind of makes sense if we're using Dark Souls 3's engine, just modified. Got an old 2070 Super, which is... I haven't actually taken a hard look at the stats, it's just like an offhand mention. I compare it to a 3060, it's actually better than a 3060 on some benchmarks. Which is nice. Means I'm actually kind of current gen. With a hand-me-down GPU. Oh, just 5 minutes at the end. Yeah. I do enjoy being sidetracked, but it does mean that we accomplish 2 conversations in 2 hours. We make so little progress in game, but it's still a fun time. So, good luck, Sora, if you decide to try and play in parallel with me here. This is what you have to deal with.
It said the attack happened in the Aoyama area, right? It's around the right time, too.
Our mom's store. Rip over it there, too. Yeah, that could work. So there's like Win the Arrow Tweaker, I think, is the utility I have that allows you to disable Windows updates. So you could install that, but I mean, it depends how you'd say it's 3 years behind. That might still work, but it also might be incompatible with some stuff at this point. I just know that the next OS upgrade I'm getting is going to be to Linux. Like, Steam Deck made it really apparent that Windows is so bloated now, and so inefficient, and so unoptimized, that running a translation layer of Windows instructions into Linux stuff is faster than just running it natively on Windows. Having the extra layer of a translator program is still faster than... Oh, then there's the size too. It's like you need a minimum 4 gigabytes for a Linux install, but it's like a minimum almost 200 gigs for Windows 10. I am going to have so much space freed up if I get rid of Windows, but I don't know if I really should, just because some stuff may not really work on Linux. Speaking of the weather tab, I actually make use of that. I noticed it there one day. And I do actually check the weather periodically, but yeah. Yeah. There are a lot of things in Windows that it just does not need and you do not want, and are not good for Windows either. When this conversation's done, I assume. At that moment, several police cars zoomed down the street, sirens wailing.
Those police cars, they're heading towards Aoyama. There's no way it could be true, right?
Oh, I hope it's true. I mean, I'd like it. Okay, wrong phrasing there. My curiosity assumes it's true, and so I want to go and confirm that. At which point I would be overjoyed that we have an email from the future. But yeah, hoping some guy dies, though, is not part of the joy.
Hey, Nalia's apartment is in Aoyama, right? Shouldn't we go check it out?
I was also concerned that now he is going to be the one who dies.
Yeah. I'm a little scared, but he should be okay. Let's go.
Alright, aside from the piss poor optimization of Windows now and the bloat in memory and speed, there was also the... Oh, I should save 2 just in case. Just in case this tangent goes that much longer. Oh, right, there's also word of, Microsoft experimenting with ads in the File Explorer for Windows 11. So yeah, I am definitely never ever getting Windows 11. Sorry, never ever willingly getting Windows 11. If I am forced to, because I need it for work, or I need it because I'm being held at gunpoint, then yeah, I'll get Windows 11. But given a reasonable choice, I will not be getting Windows 11. Windows 10 is the last Windows OS I am having. Although the plot thickens just as it turns to 2201. I could totally leave you on a cliffhanger here. That would be a bit dickish. Except I actually really want to see what happens next too, so let's go. It seems that the police were going to the building Dahlia lives in after all. She is roped off by the police and a crowd of onlookers has gathered. Someone else who has just arrived approaches you.
Nelia?
I'm surprised to see you. What are you doing here?
Oh, I'm glad you're safe.
Safe? Oh, you mean the incident in the building.
Windows 8, I'll take... I had Windows 8 before Windows 10. I got the free upgrade to it, so I'll take Windows 8 over Windows 11. I still don't know what exactly is bad about Windows 8. Remember there being a bit of a fuss about it being horrible, but I never really got to experience it or learn what exactly was bad about it. Windows 11, yeah, I have now heard of specific things that are bad, and with Windows 10, I am experiencing things that are bad about it. So, and if Windows 10 is apparently one of the good updates for Windows. Really, the biggest hurdle for me going to Linux is that all these applications I have were programmed for Windows. So I either have to find the equivalent ones on Linux or get a translator, and also to remember what all the apps were. Yeah, I just... that seems like a huge goddamn hassle. Such a huge hassle. But if I can figure out a way to make that not a hassle, yeah, I'd switch. They skipped Windows 9. They went Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1, Windows 10, now Windows 11.
Of course that's what we mean. What's going on anyway? That weird email you made us read made us all jumpy.
I see. You're right. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to frighten you. The person who was eaten was a student like yourselves. He lived next door to me.
He was eaten? No way. Is what that email said really true? But we got the email before the incident happened. What does this mean?
I'm sorry, Yuzu is just stating the obvious, and I am slightly frustrated by that, but I also understand it because this game was aimed more towards a younger audience that may not have really bothered to pay attention. Also, that might just be your character, which, I mean, fair enough. Plus one. Ah, so it's either complete and utter buggy mess or Windows 11. I mean, to play through question, I'm going to assume those are the only two options, and I can't just say an arbitrary third option like going to Linux, because obviously that would defeat the question. So, given the option between an OS so buggy they never even released it, and an OS so bad but they still released it, I'll take the one that's actually in a releasable state and therefore go to Windows 11. If I have to choose between 9 or 11. What may change my answer is if Windows 9 is actually in a workable state. They just chose not to release it because it doesn't have all the bloatware or spyware or adware that they wanted in there working. Because maybe it actually works perfectly fine as an OS like Linux does, but it just doesn't have all the quote-unquote bells and whistles that they wanted to put in there. If that's the case with 9, then I totally want 9. But knowing that it's only such a big buggy mess that they didn't release it, compared to 11, which they have released, I'd go with the one they released, just because if it's my everyday machine, I want it to work. macOS or Windows XP? Oh, that's tough, because Mac OS would be more up-to-date than Windows XP, but Mac OS can't actually run a lot of stuff, and it's at Windows XP. Windows XP. Fuck Apple. Early 2000s, 1990s, 1980s, Apple was good because they were pro-consumer. Then they just became a walled garden of paywalls and other bullshit. Mac OS might be more optimized than Windows XP, but they will stop you from doing anything you actually want to do. You do not get to customize. You do not get to run custom programs. There is very little compatibility for it. And because most programs are for Windows, you wouldn't be able to play much of any games either on Mac, and unlike on Linux, I doubt there are translation programs for it, because on Linux, they have a lot of translation programs, so you can do Windows stuff on Linux, even if it's not made for Linux. Although if there is translation stuff for Mac, then I'm not sure if that would change my answer, but it would be a point for Mac OS. Because again, I'm assuming Mac OS is more up-to-date than Windows XP. But it's also the walled-off garden or black box that is Mac and Apple devices, which From what I knew from the beginning, once the times were in the future, and the fact that we are a character in a story, it's telling the future.
Your thought process never ceases to amaze me. Usually, one would suspect that the one who sent the email carried out the murder.
In a whole ad campaign, after using your freaking colored iPhone. Yes. Indeed. Indeed, Alyssa.
No wonder you're my cousin. I understand why the two of you came here. But our meeting here is an accident. We shouldn't be talking like this. Hurry and find Atsuro immediately. It's going to begin soon.
Begin? What are you talking about?
Alia looks away, and he seems to have no intention of answering any more
There
questions.
isn't much time left. Listen carefully to me, both of you. Do not turn away from what is about to happen now. Do not be afraid to stand up against it. That is when the door of truth will open. Overcome your fate.
I am wondering how he learned about all this stuff in the first place, but maybe we'll find out later. Or maybe he'll die before we get to learn. That could be a giant plot hole, but knowing this is a JRPG, we'll probably get to learn. It's not like from soft title where there's a whole bunch of plot holes that you're meant to fill in for yourself, or an American written plot which just has a bunch of plot holes because they're bad writers. Or shonen plot, which is just driven by character emotions and no logic. I assume this game will whatever. I just assume I find it more likely we'll get to learn how he managed to learn all this. Also, he has red eyes. I noticed that before, but didn't really call attention to it till now. And gray hair. Is he actually human? Or is he just very much into fashion? This was a DS game. Nintendo DS game. And we were playing the 3DS, I guess, remaster? I'm not quite sure what to call it. Re-release, remaster. I don't think it'd be a remake.
Oh, wait a second.
Alia walks away.
Gone. Something didn't seem right with him, huh? I wonder what's wrong.
I mean, we have the weird headphones too, with the super extendable red wire jack there. No idea where the hell that's plugged into. Is that plugged into a freaking zipper on our vest or something? I don't know. And then we have the what should be the headband that's supposed to support it on our head. Instead forms this weird devil horn shape, or cat ears. More inclined to say cat ears because that's what that is the only other headphone shape your headband could be. But given the theme of Devil Survivor for this and devils, that's probably meant to be devil horns. Yeah, I'd say it's remastered, but this definitely came out before that kind of term was common, so I'm not sure which one would be the actual term would be. Whatever. Just send your cell phone ring. The caller ID says that's pseudo. I don't have an answer. I can't not answer it.
Yo, I figured out how to crack the encryption on those comps. I need yours so I can unlock them. Meet me in front of the Electric Museum in Shibuya.
Why don't we meet up with Atsuro? I'm all confused from everything that's happened so suddenly. Maybe Atsuro's figured something out on his end.
Way across the city. I mean, remember back in the opening cutscene when we had the red strings going all the way down? Yeah, that was our headphone wire. All of that was. It's really long. Oh, yeah, I think it was like a bunny hoodie or something. I have Devil Survivor 2 as well. The actual cartridge I have across the room with my other DS games, but also the ROM I have here. Yeah, I guess we're going over time because the plot thickens. Oh, battle, huh? This is gonna be a tutorial battle. Fucking 2.5 hours in. Museum is north of Shibuya along the Yama. I was gonna say Yamanote, but I know that Japanese does not have silent characters. That's Yamanote. East of Miyashita Park.
Whoa, what took you guys so long? How far away did you go when you were killing time? Huh? You guys went to see Naoya?
Oh yeah. Well...
Izu tells Atsuro about what happened in Aoyama. We might end it after tutorial, we may not. It depends if I still feel like the plot's thickening after this. Because we are, of course, in overtime. Oh, neat. Because I also got the remastered ROM of Devil Survivor 2. I have the original Devil Survivor 2 in physical, but the ROM is the remaster on the 3DS. Oh, the menu. Oh, yeah, that is rough. That is rough. Uh-huh. Oh, I do know. She also mentioned how it happened to match the email you received and what Nalia said.
What? Are you saying that the email actually came true? Anyway, if you ran into Naoya, why didn't you call me? I had some stuff to ask him.
Sorry, so much was going on that we kind of forgot you.
Oh well, that's okay. Bringing it up now isn't going to change anything. So, what's going on? Is what was written in that email actually coming true? Come on, there's no way an email can predict the future. Are you sure you didn't just fall for one of Naoya's pranks?
No, I do believe it's from the future, but then again, that's because I have this fourth wall perspective, which I am going to enforce now as a character quirk.
When you put it that way, well, Naoya's human too. He must have a sense of humor.
Neither of them are that adaptable, are they? Well, there should be an explosion at 9, though, about an hour and a half from now, so... I'll know then.
But someone really did get killed. The police were there. I can't believe they'd be a part of his joke.
If Naoya was telling the truth, that email wasn't a warning, right? Unless someone really did predict the future. It's probably just a coincidence. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. It mentioned an explosion and a blackout, too. If it really was predicting the future, it would be odd if those don't happen. Still, they seem pretty unlikely.
What? But...
Who cares anyway? Once I crack these comps and look inside, it'll all make sense.
Okay. Though I'm still not convinced. So tell us what you found out, Atsuro.
Yep, Alyssa, that is a character quirk I am going to fully enforce with the protagonist in this JRPG. And he firmly believes he is what he is.
Yeah, well, I was completely fooled. I think Naoya knew I'd try to get inside one myself. It seems these three comps are always monitoring each other, so I can't crack one alone. See, a comp has this always-on wireless feature that allows it to exchange data with...
Oh, my head! Enough with the explanation. Just hurry up and do it.
You have no tolerance for technical talk. I would have liked to have heard that, even though it's probably going to be a lot longer of an explanation than it needs to be.
Man, you never change. Anyway, I'm gonna unlock the systems, okay? Turn your comps on, you guys.
While waiting for Atsuro to finish, you look up and see someone who looks like Naoya. Although Shibuya is a popular area, the street is empty, and he seems to stand out. Handsome face is expressionless, but gives off a cold feeling.
Okay, done. I'm restarting the comps.
Hey, that... The scrolling text in the background, you actually stuff similar to that when you bootstrap your 3DS. You know, it's command line. Not so much flashing white, though. I thought they were going to use the top screen for a second.
Whoa! Monsters came out of the comps!
What is this?
Come on, grab a metal pipe. I'm sure there's some... Whenever there's a character inside modern Japan, they always have a metal pipe for a weapon if they gotta pick one up, so I'm pretty sure there's one somewhere around here. I know. And the comps, if they were Nintendo DS's in the original and they're just changed to 3DS's, that means it should still have two screens. Also, I thought there'd be voice acting for the pixie. I still don't feel confident doing a female voice. Even though I kind of did the woman. Whatever. I felt I was going to suffocate in there. So this is the... And these humans must be the ones who summoned me. Fight then. I will now have my freedom. Let's go. Oh, we found our top screen. I'm gonna let you guys go. I have to die so I can go free.
Don't come any closer!
Yeah, partial voicing. Which means I'm not sure if I should actually give them a voice myself or not. Okay, so LR is that. And here's the weird thing. Normally that's inverted. Normally they'd not use the bottom screen, but here they are inverting. I like the keyboard. It's a weird thing. I mean, it is a game about the reality being subverted with the whole demon invasion. So, I think it's coincidental that they did this, but hey, matching themes. Mechanical and thematical. Whatever. Narrative. Blech. Terms are difficult. Do we attack or do we guard? Wait, they have an extra turn.
Help! Atsuru!
Yeah, it is entirely backwards.
Yuzu! Oh, damn it! We're coming!
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll.
Where are you?
I'm not sure if I'll voice the small fry actually. Yeah, in most games, guard isn't really that useful because it just reduces damage taken. And, I mean, the enemy's still alive on the next turn, so it's really just delaying your own death. Guard has its uses in a team comp, but not in a solo battle. Solo battle, it really should just be to attack. What are we even attacking with? He seems kind of strong, or these things are weak.
What the? That should have hurt me way more than it did.
Soft and chewy? Oh hey, I got the one with a weapon. Oh, one crit guaranteed. Oh boy.
Be careful! You've got to get them before they get you! You have to fight!
Well, this thing has one guaranteed crit, so I think guarding would actually help right now. Yep, I crit for 3. Oh, did I not get an extra turn? Oh, this thing's a battle junkie. Welcome to the comp tutorial. Use the attack command to strike foes. You can attack any squares adjacent to you. Attack a distant foe, get closer by using move, and will complete your turn. So can we move and attack in the same turn? And oh hey, line. Okay, that's just fine stuff. Anyway, normally I'd focus up on one unit, but I think, given how this is going, we should probably just... Yeah, complete our duels. Ooh, okay, 4 stat points. Let's distribute points. Use control pad to select stats and distribute points. Okay, so I'll increase my MP. That won't give me any kind of points. I'll increase my HP. I don't know what exactly I'd want right now. Even though I've been hurt a fair bit, though, I'll just take the bit. Okay, I don't have any extra points. Alright, cool. Be defeated by one who summons become master. Alright. Monster disappears, mumbling incoherently.
Did we beat that thing? Our attacks work against them. Could it be because of the comps? We can win! We can't die here!
I mean, Atsuro's about to finish up, so let's just... Oh, sweet, I can undo the movement, and I can't move that way. Fair enough. Yeah, sure. Alright, let's finish off his demon. Oh, they have +1. Oh, they assign their own skill points, don't they? I only get to choose my own build. Oh. Well, that's good to know. Is there anything actually enforcing that master-servant contract, or is it just like, oh, I heard this is what happens, I guess I'll follow, I guess I'll abide by the rules? I feel like that's all they're really doing. Anywho, that box is in the Pixie, so we're cool. Seems like close to it then. Oh, the kobold didn't level up. Yeah, as long as it works. Oh, right. Okay, let's, Funny thing is, I think I might become a strength build in Elden Ring, too.
I'm still alive.
Oh, hey, we lost a bar of battery on the comp. Nice.
We're all still alive. Ugh, that was so scary.
What about the ones, though?
What's going on? What
Sure, they'll
was
explain
that?
that, though.
Atsuro, what did you do?
I don't know either. I just undid the encryption. The program activated itself.
Yeah, I kind of figured. I remember in Devil Survivor 2, there were a lot of demons, and obviously these demons are based off of, like, actual folklore demons, so of course the ones that are more legendary are more powerful. You know, like in Pokemon, just with more real-life basis to it. So yeah, I don't think... A part of me wants to take the kobold, like, all the way through to the end, just see how strong it can get. But on the other hand, it's probably just swap it out for something stronger when it comes along.
Then the comp is what made this happen just now? That doesn't make any sense! That's just impossible!
Look, denying reality is something only Republicans do. You really shouldn't be one of those.
Let's go to the police. We can't hold on to something this dangerous. Check them out! What more is there to see?
Then there's Alice. You know, I'm not fully sure who you're talking about, so I guess I'll find out soon. Not soon, eventually.
Calm down, Yoo-hoo. I think he's right.
You just naturally call her Yoo-hoo.
Huh? What are you saying? What do we do if demons come out of these things again?
Will you settle down a little? I know why you're freaking out. I was there too, you know. But even after what just happened, is it right to throw everything out immediately? We don't even know if that's the safest thing to do at this point.
Throat's getting a little itchy. How you said to keep them?
He did say that we would need them.
I'm going to take a deeper look into these comps, okay?
Also, I can't quite tell if Yuzu has a ponytail or not. Because, like, she's got the headband here, and the hair goes back here, and that could just be a natural extension of the curvature of her head, and the hair follows through there, or it could be a ponytail. And, yeah, I just don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, okay. But if
Oh, that looks like a
something comes
ponytail,
out,
actually.
We're making a run for it.
Yeah, I can see the
have
end
to
of her
do
head
this.
here. And the ponytail. Okay, that settles that. Honestly, if you say you'll run, Yuzu, but if I have control of you again, you aren't running. You're doing as I say, and we're gonna kill those motherfuckers, because we need more Pokemon. It sure connects the comp to his laptop and begins examining the files. Yeah, it does work in mysterious ways.
Ah, I get it. So that's why.
What? Did you figure something out?
Yeah. First, this process is named the Demon Summoning Program.
Demon? You mean like from books and myths and all
Not yet,
that
Desmond.
stuff?
Not yet.
How should I know? I can't wrap my head around how a computer can summon them.
I mean, rituals, they say rituals can summon them, but, well, they showed up.
Yeah, we really saw them. So we have to believe what happened.
Pokemon Pop. Yeah. Huh? The hell are you talking about, Desmond?
Anyway, the other function I found in this comp is named the Harmonizer.
Moms were right all along.
To harmonize means to match or adjust. It's similar to the summoning program, and I have no idea what principles are behind it.
I mean, Astro, I know what harmonize means, but when you call a program the Harmonizer, there's a lot of things it can harmonize.
But it seems to match some wavelength so that our attacks work on demons. And likewise, it attunes their attacks to lessen the damage we take from them.
I'm totally lost. I don't get any of this. What is now you trying to do?
Give us the tools to survive, that's
Summoning
what.
demons, protecting us from them? What does he want us to do?
Maybe we fight
But
demons?
why? Are we supposed to bring about world peace or something?
Huh? Wait a sec, that's it!
What? Don't tell me it's really for world peace.
No, it's not that. Do you guys remember that email?
The one with those predictions? Yeah.
I thought about how the comp's functions would work in conjunction with it. Well, take this for example. The death in Aoyama was blamed on an animal attack, right?
Huh? Yeah?
What if it wasn't an animal, but a demon, like the ones that appeared earlier?
What are you saying? If you're trying to scare us, knock it off.
I'm not trying to scare you. I want to sort this thing out. Okay, to start out, if the email delivered to our comps really did predict that, then we would have known when and where the attack was due to occur before it happened. So if we wanted to, we could have been there at that moment. In addition, the comps are modified to summon demons and fight against them. So, what conclusions can we draw from this? Yeah, that's what I think too.
I mean, that feels pretty obvious.
Huh?
There's been a lot of weird stuff in the city recently. The internet's full of rumors. There have always been strange things happening, but there have been a lot of them lately. What if they were all ignored by the public, but they were actually caused by demons? And what if we can use these comps to fight those demons?
Then, are you saying these comps were made to fight the demons who are doing all this?
Sorry, the one story beat I'm expecting is kind of a world-ending catastrophe to come in and basically knock out civilization as we know it. Because I think that happened in Devil Survivor 2, where it basically turns into an apocalypse scenario. But, you know, demons instead of zombies. And if a similar thing happens in the first game, I'm also wondering how the hell they have it 2 then. These sense views are in the RPG.
Yeah, that is, if demons are really the cause of these things.
I'm so not doing that. Why don't we just give these back to Naoya or somebody else?
I mean, I'd roll with it. I mean, what if a demon attacks us? Obviously want to have self-defense. I mean, a demon did just attack us. Like, for fuck's sake, you Yuzu, you know what these are worth now. The one I like more is the one who can adapt to the fact we're in a JRPG more quickly. And I'm not sure which one's adapting faster, because both Hatsuro and Yuzu have been varying.
No, that's not what I mean, but...
Naoya's really good at planning things in advance.
Says you, Jessa. You only kill off people who annoy me, specifically, or are harmful. Okay, maybe not annoy me, but definitely I feel are harmful to keep alive. And, I mean, if we tried to save Yuzu and she keeps refusing to be saved, yeah, we let her die, but otherwise... we're not, no, she doesn't seem hot. She's definitely not hostile.
I don't know why he chose us to have these, but there must be a good reason behind it.
Nepotism, that's why.
I mean, I don't want to have to fight monsters like that again either.
I mean, I don't want to either, but I'm still cool with it. I don't hate it.
But if we get attacked by demons like the other victims, I can't give this comp up. Without them, we're just normal people. We don't stand a chance against demons.
If you're right, Atsuro, and this weird stuff is being caused by demons, and even if these comps were made to fight those demons, then why us? The police should be the ones dealing with this stuff.
In an ideal world, yeah, but if all the demon stuff was either not acknowledged as demons or was all swept under the rug, do you really think the police would be willing to receive from a otherwise total stranger, hey, take these comps, they'll help you fight the demons? And they're like, no, that's just not gonna work.
We can give them to the police, but if we do, we'll never get them back.
Yes, she is lower end.
That said, do you think we can really protect ourselves without them, Yoo-hoo?
I am sick of all this. Why is this happening?
We're in a
What's wrong?
JRPG, that's why.
Why are you staring above my head? Is something there?
Oh, hey, so the numbers there I actually can see aren't just a part of the HUD. Explain that ever since the battle you've seen numbers above people's heads. 2 walking by have a 7, but the 3 of you have a 1.
Number over our heads? What are you talking about?
I don't see anything, but you look serious. What's going on? Man, is that because of the comp too? We know so little about all this. I feel like my head's about to blow up.
Hey, why don't we go back to Naoya's place after all? All this about the comp, the email, and everything else, we really need him to tell us.
That's receiving more of. Yeah, risk averse is a good way to put it. Which I prefer adaptability, I think, above all. Actually, I'm not sure. There probably are some traits that I prefer more than adaptability, especially in certain scenarios, but I think in general, adaptability is the best trait. Will he even be there? Because, yeah, he kind of just disappeared.
It's better than sitting around here. Come on, let's try to see him.
Yeah, I need to talk to Naoya too. Let's go to Aoyama.
Okay, so the plot still thickens, frankly. But it's also, as Dessa mentioned, 40 minutes overtime. Let's do the classic double save. I'm done. Oh, we have 85, whatever the heck that symbol is. That's probably a currency, isn't it? No, we already did double save. 2.5 hours in. I wonder if we can go back. Or start select. Oh, sweet! Soft reset still works. Also, related to that, N is short for Ental, but they only refer to Ental occasionally in the dialogue. But if you just put a Y in front of it, you have Yen. And given the first game, it's probably Yen. Yental. It is a nice opening song, though. I think to end this stream, let's just play the opening for Double Starver 2. Actually, I should probably crank up the CPU speed. I don't think it'll be too bad if I leave it at 45, but I don't think it needs to be there for 2.
Devil Survivor 2, Record Breaker.
That voice makes me think the protagonist has a voice in this one, which I'm even more uncertain about. It's been long enough I don't really remember too much of the specifics of the game, so I don't think it'll bother me too much, but that's still going to be weird. Anywho, that'll be it for today. So thank you for watching. There's still tomorrow. And maybe you won't get sidetracked, maybe we will. Who knows? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Very well.